What's up, guys? We're gonna roll beats today. I'm gonna be showing you guys how to set up your kicks, and we're gonna be doing a cook up right after. If you guys haven't subbed already, I'll turn performance do so, because it does help it a lot. Let's hop right into it. So real quick, I'm gonna grab in the scale, and I'm gonna show you my sounds, and then I'm gonna show you how to set your kicks up. So we can roll with let's do an E minor, make something sad. All right, BPM 166, we could do 165, whatever. And these are the sounds I'm using, just the piano. Okay, another one. And then we got this, very ambient. And we got another bell. All right, so that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the part where I'll show you how to set your kicks up. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into these settings. So here's the kick. Now you want your kick to look like this. You don't want it to be super distorted like that, right? Some people may like that sound, but that'll create problems later. So you want it normalized like this. So our first setting is actually boosting it, but we're not gonna boost it randomly. So what I found, and I've tried this on most kicks, and I would say it's pretty universal, is on the 4th and sometimes the 5th peak. So what I mean by that is this is the first one, the first peak, 2nd, 3rd, and the 4th. So on this 4th one, you want to kind of give it a fade. You want to give it like a taper, a haircut, right? So usually about 2% to 4%, somewhere around there is good. So we could do 2%. Now you won't notice a huge difference yet, okay, until we finish everything. But anything above, it'll start to sound very distorted, or anything below. Now if below, it'll sound super clean, but it won't have that punch. So we could do 2%. All right, so about halfway through is where all the thump is. Now on this side usually is stuff that will clash with the 808. So what we're going to do is actually dip a little bit of this out, not take it out, but like dip it out or fade it out. So what we're going to do is go to our envelope, turn this on, and I'm gonna just turn all this down. And we could turn our decay up, and then turn our tension on our decay to the right. So you can choose how much you want to cut out, and I'm gonna just play it so you can kind of see it, or like see the difference. So I like mine somewhere around there. Okay, so that's the second setting. So the next one, you've seen me do before, which is basically doubling your kick, but putting it one note lower. Now you don't want to do it like this, or like this, or like this. You may be able to combine some, but from what I've heard, usually it creates problems when you start going a little bit lower. So I just do it on the note right before the first one. Then you want to have these at the same velocity. I've tried putting one lower, but it just sounds weird. It has like weird phasing, and I don't know, it just sounds weird. So I just keep these how it is. All right, and that's how I set my kicks up. And I'm gonna give y'all a bonus one with the 808 real quick. So with our 808, we want to do the same thing with the kick, except we're not gonna mess with the decay. So we're gonna do the little hold trick, right? Put the hold up. So what you want to do here is put this delay at 3 to 4%. And I say 3 to 4 because not every 808 is the same. This one pretty much starts at the beginning. So we could decay it, or delay it, not decay, at 4%. And that'll give a lot of room for this. And we haven't even mixed it yet. All right, so that's pretty much the chunk of the video. So now we're gonna go ahead and cook up, and I'm gonna show you what this stuff sounds like in the beat. Okay, so let's start on our chords and get our melody done. So let's go in here. We have our piano. So real quick, what we could do is start on our root, and then we can kind of make a chord, right? And then we can just delete the top one and then make a chord backwards, right? And you could continue, but I'm just delete that one. All right, and we could just move these over, maybe do something like this. All right, and then we can fill in either one of these notes. Okay, I'm gonna do this one. All right, pretty simple. So I'm gonna stretch this out like that, and we can use this to build, and this is pretty much like our bass line. So from here, I'm gonna just go ahead and just Okay, so this is our first chord. This is a minor. Let's do our next one. And then we could pull this, copy this up. And then let's maybe offset a note. Make sure y'all can see everything. And I'm just using tricks I've showed y'all in other videos. Pull that one up. All right, and we can copy this over and leave it like that. So those are our chords, and let's move on to like a little melody. Okay, so let's go ahead and throw in a second melody, pop in here. What I'm gonna do is actually, we could go on to thirds, just so we can have like some bounce with the melody, so it's not like super robotic and on the grid. So if you're lost, and I use these tricks when I make tutorials because I just need to get a good result. So these are things that work. All right, now if I was making my own beat, I'll probably experiment more. But what we could do is, this is our minor chord. So what I like to do is take the mid note within our chord and use that to start the melody, right? So we could just take these actually. So we already got our melody written out. We just got to fill in the blanks in the middle. So let's take these. I'm gonna shift D. Okay, and then we can kind of, and let's use B actually to end over here. Okay, I like that. So I'm gonna copy this over. And then what we could do is keep these kind of short, and we could pull these up an octave and then kind of make these a little bit longer. Then what I like to do is hold shift, and you can kind of shift it over a little bit. Okay. And I'm gonna just color code these so you can see what we did. And then I'm gonna maybe pull these down a little bit. And this is like an old trick I used to do in my old videos. All right, and we can maybe throw another note up. We can color code that too. Let's maybe try putting this on the grid. And we copy that over and we're done. So let's move on to the next notes or the next VSTs. All right, so we pretty much got the melody done. And what I want to do is just add these ambient sounds. So we could just take the same methods and just keep doing it all the way through. So we could take the G and the B. Where's the B at? Right here. Shift D. And then we could take this, pull this over, pull it up an octave, do something like that. And I'm not even gonna think about this. I'm gonna just use these methods, and we could copy it over. And I know it's gonna sound good because these are notes we've already used, right? So it's gonna be in harmony. It's just the placement. So we might need to change up. I'm gonna actually put this on the grid. Simple as that. So let's move on to the last one, and we can start making the actual beat. All right, so the next sound we have is super thin, and I wanted to actually make something else with it, but it's really like you can barely hear it. So what I'm gonna do is just steal from what I already have. So we could just take this and kind of let it be ambience in the background, copy it, do the old trick of just pulling up the second half. All right, and I'm gonna just play it maybe just with the chords. right? And we can just play everything together. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with our drums and our 808s. Okay, so I went ahead and rendered this out because I want to add some effects on it. So these are the effects I have, and I'll show you everything as we go down, but I'll just show you without. We can even reverse it. And you will have to chop it up so that it has the original chord progression that you had. And I might actually save this later because I kind of like the way that sounds, but it doesn't sound like a trap beat. So I'm gonna pull this back. And I'm gonna just show you these settings real quick. So this is what it sounds like with the settings. Super ambient. So the idea here is just to make it kind of like a pad, and then you could throw in, it'll let me click back. You could throw in any one of these, and that could be like your new melody. Okay. So I'm just show you these settings. So on this, what I do is turn the diffusion up and turn the mix all the way up. So it's like a pad. Okay, so you can copy those settings. And I have this melody melt setting. I basically just kind of take out the low frequencies and some of the highs, and how much is up to you. I'm gonna just do it randomly, it doesn't really matter. And then this EQ. Now what I do is right click, stereo placement, go to side, and I just take out some of these like harsh frequencies, and I do the same with the mono, or not the mono, the mid. Okay, it's not a huge difference, but it will make a big difference later when we add like the kick and stuff. Okay, now this isn't needed, this is just preference. Really all you really need is just these two. Shaper box. Now this is just for movement. I put a filter and then I widen it a little bit. Okay, just trying to show y'all. And then the limiter. Now I've already made a video on how to use this on your melodies, but it just to control so it doesn't go above. I probably could turn it down. All right, simple as that. So those are the effects and everything. I might do some stuff post with this, but for the most part, let's go ahead and add in that 808. Okay, so I went ahead and chopped this up because I want to reverse it so it's in harmony. So all you have to do is just kind of pull each one of these to the other side. Or I think that's how you do it. I don't know. Sometimes it sounds good, sometimes it doesn't, but I'm just do it anyway. So wait, can't play this. All right, so now it sounds more along the lines of what we had originally. So I'm gonna mute this actually, and let's get started with this 808. So take our bass line. Go here. I'm gonna make sure it's quantized. I'm gonna offset these. I'm gonna zoom in. Maybe we could. This cut. Okay. I'm gonna play around so we can kind of mess with the kick a little bit. And then let's just make some minor adjustments over here. Maybe pull this up. Just kind of delete these now. Okay, and that's just so we can play around with the kick, because this is what the video is about the kick, right? So let's go ahead and throw our actual drums in and we can be done with the video. All right, now the kick is pretty straightforward. So copy, paste, and then Alt K. Now remember, take this, pull it down, and we might have to take some stuff out. You can see already it sounds like it's been mixed or leveled, right? but it's not. It's just the settings that I showed y'all earlier. Okay. Now, if your kick or your 808 sounds weird, you've done all this and it sounds weird, what you need to do is either reverse the polarity on the kick or reverse it on the 808. I mean, it should fix any issues you have. So that's the kick. Now I'm gonna just go ahead and go through the drums. All right, so I already threw my clap in, and I like to put my drums on a second pattern. So let's go ahead and right click and go to fill each 4 steps. Put in the piano roll, and I like to do this so that I can add bounce. Add a little. Okay, and now we can just add other hi-hats. I'm gonna copy this, pull this down. I'm gonna hold shift and drag it. If you look, it'll like offset it. Probably turn it down. Let's kind of copy this pattern over. Okay, I like that. So I'm gonna just go ahead and throw, we don't really have that many drums to even put in. So you can just kind of. Okay, and I think that's pretty decent. So I'm gonna just play these all together. And right now I just have the render and this playing. And I'm gonna just play the original. And I kind of like the vibe of the render, but I'm gonna just play all the original melodies we made together. I'm going here, so here we go. All right, that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully this helped out. Remember, I'm gonna just show these settings one more time. So we got 2% on the boost. Remember the 4th peak. All right, and we haven't even put any processing on these drums yet. Remember this envelope, so you copy those settings, 808, delay 4%, 3 to 4%, and you should be good. All right, so that's it for this video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe if y'all new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.